Why, hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today we're just gonna have a bit of a workshop on the new stuff coming out with the servers, and I'm gonna answer any questions people have today. They have not put out the full list yet for the stuff coming with all the full details of the list. I bet you it'll be out in like a day or two after this stream, so I will be doing another one, don't worry. But we are going to make this real quick and just answer some questions for you guys. Welcome, greeting, I'm your host and guide on Ironshield, as always, here on Voice of the Rings. And one of my goals on my channel here is I want to help make it very relaxing and nice for a lot of our viewers. When it comes to and our players on the Lord of the Rings online communities, no matter what server you're on. I want to try to help people, figure things out and stuff like that. All right. So again, this is going to be real quick. This is mainly focused at the community as a whole on my channel and the Lord of the Rings online community. My kinship do not have to be here for this one. If you watch it later, that's sweet, wonderful, but you don't have to. This is not one will be anything about our kinship directly. This is going to be about the Lord of the Rings online community. I wanted to do one right in the middle of Sunday because it's a good time for people to see it from all over the world. And anyway, Cordovan, who is someone who you should all know, and I'm sure many of you know, but if you don't, if you're a newer LOTRO player, he is the media manager and pretty much the guy to go to for a lot of information. So I've watched both of his recent videos. I will link them in the description of this stream after it is finished. And basically, what do we have going on? Okay, so if you're someone who maybe missed my other videos, which I've already done full detailed videos on what's going on, but if you are someone who has missed it, basically what is happening is we are getting some big investment and upgrades in Lord of the Rings Online. We are going to have some brand new servers that have brand new hardware and are 64-bit, which will go into the future, bring LOTRO into the future for many years to come. Very excited personally myself as a player since the very beginning of this game. I'm very excited. I grew up playing this game. I was a small child when I started playing it. But it's really, really cool to me that they're going to be doing that. So what are these even for? What's the point? Why are they doing the merging? Why are we transferring? That kind of stuff. Let's just answer that question real quick for those who might not know what's going on. Basically, the server banks have all been in New Jersey, right, for a long time, including the European ones, right? Excluding legendary servers. We'll talk about those in a minute. Legendary servers are the progression servers that start at the original level and they re-add the expansions. Let's not talk about those. We're just talking about the regular servers, okay? There are 10 right now. They're all in New Jersey. 5 of them are the European dedicated type servers, and 5 of them are North American dedicated servers. But the actual physical server bank are located in America, in New Jersey, all right? Here's one thing that'll be cool. So split those 10 servers that we have right now, the 5 that are dedicated European, the 5 that are NA. They will not be able to cross-transfer to the new servers, but there's going to be 4 new servers in total, okay? 2 of them will be dedicated in Europe with their server banks in Amsterdam, okay? So 2 of them, and that will be Orcrust and Meriadoc, okay? Those are the European ones. So any of the 5 European servers, the classic ones right now that are dedicated in New Jersey, they will transfer to those, which are now going to be dedicated in Europe. Cool. All right, that's great for our European friends. Still love it if you guys want to play with us over here too, of course. Then the 5 servers that were the American ones in New Jersey are going to transfer to the 2 new American ones, which will be Glamdring and Peregrine. Okay, those will be in Las Vegas now with brand new hardware and brand new servers. Again, for our kinship's sake, if you want to know where Voice of the Rings kinship going, we are going to Glamdring, okay, like the sword. All right, that's the server the NA server will be going to. You have to transfer to one of the 2 NA servers if you are on one of the 5 original NA dedicated servers. Same thing for the European ones. The 5 original dedicated European ones have to transfer to the European servers, all right? So if you are someone who played on a European server in America, it might be a little farther with the ping and vice versa. Now, you have to remember that these new servers are going to be much faster. So any lag that you were getting or ping issues or whatever that was from the server side will probably be eliminated. So yes, there will be a distance thing, right? So if you're in Europe and now you want to play and you still want to play on with us on the NA, or let's say you're on the original NA servers and now you're going to have to transfer to the Glamdring and Peregrine one, that are going to be dedicated in Las Vegas. I don't think that distance transfer is going to make as much of a difference as the immense speed upgrade from the 64-bit servers, personally, from my know of tech. I could be wrong. There's another thing you have to think about. It's sometimes on an individual basis of your connection, whether your house has a certain speed, or somewhere in your town, or some connection in your city, or that kind of thing. That is also important to remember. All right. So anyway, howdy Bean. Hello, Lord Kev. Belwin. Hello, you guys. What's up? When will new players be able to join the new servers directly? Belwin says. So that is, we have a rough. They have not given us the exact date. This is a good question to go into next. We know that it's gonna. Their goal is before March. So I'm assuming the last week of February. Okay, so and we're almost in February during this stream, right? It's January 26th today. All right, so we are very, very close to. We will most likely get that info in the next week, and I will drop it on our Discord, and I will most likely post it on the Lord of the Rings community tab. I might even make a video about it. So make sure you like and subscribe and all that jazz if you want to know that stuff. But once we have that information, then we could talk about the more stuff. So let's talk about some of the transferring stuff we've heard of already from Cordovan. All right. We know that what they're going to do for names, right? So we have 5 servers going into 2 and 5 servers going into 2. A combined 10 servers, but the 2 sides, European, dedicated, and American, are going to be condensed into 2 and 2. I want to make something very clear for everyone. This is not, oh no, the game is having trouble, so they're condensing. No, these new servers, they dumped tons of money into updating these, okay? They are, one of the servers alone could probably hold the population of the other 5 combined, okay? But they're making 2 because of certain reasons, all right? So this is a huge upgrade for the Lord of the Rings community. They're investing into us as a community and into the game. Very exciting. It's all a good thing. So anyone who tells you otherwise, that, oh no, they're like, the doomsayers, right? Oh no, it means the end of the game, blah, blah. They're full of it. Don't listen to them, okay? Listen to the player base and the media manager, okay? This is very exciting stuff, all right? So as a longtime player, I've been being told for over 10 years that the game was going to die. And guess what? The game is bigger than ever, okay? So I always laughed at those people, and I still have the last laugh. Anyway, it's very exciting. So very, very exciting that those servers will be merging into the 2 and the 2. And again, there is a difference. Let's talk about the difference of the 2 servers on both sides. So America's servers are going to be Glamdring, and then they're going to have Peregrine, which has RP on it. Now, I want to make very clear that RP doesn't necessarily mean anything different, okay? It's just a label to kind of let people know that their goal is to roleplay on that server, right? It's still going to probably, no matter what, both servers in the European side and American side are both going to have lots of players. Now, if we go to the European ones, we have Orcrest, which will be the regular server, and the other one, Meriadoc, will be RP, okay? Again, you have to remember that both these servers are going to have far more players on them. Now, my gut feeling from my experience of the Great Merge many years ago with other server things is I think Glamdring will have the larger population just because of the namesake, kind of like with Arkenstone, if you remember. I think that was one of the only reasons that the Arkenstone got so big was people really liked Arkenstone, and then when people heard there were a lot of people on it, people kept joining it, that kind of thing, right? This does not mean, though, that the other servers will be small, Peregrine. They're going to be far larger than the servers right now, because you're combining 5 servers into 2, right? So no matter what, even if, let's say, 80% of every server went to 1, if you got 20% of all the other servers you'd still have a bigger, bigger than the other one. It would be very weird if it wasn't still a lot larger. So it'll still be a lot larger. And for my servers, from my knowledge of people I've known and talked to in groups, it's about a 50-50 split from Crick Hollow. So if that's the case with other servers, then both servers are going to be pretty big. So anyway, so again, Voice of the Rings server, will be Glamdring. All right, the American non-RP server. And again, I want to just stress the point. RP does not really matter, okay, as much. Unfortunately, some people as new players will see that, and they might pick, oh, I don't do an RP, so I'll just pick the other one. That's unfortunately, like, people do that with names, okay? Or, oh, I know the name Glamdring, it's the sword, Gandalf's sword, I'll pick that one, right? That kind of thing. I almost think, maybe they should have, I like they went lore accurate, okay, mind you, with Peregrine, but Peregrine is Pippin's full name, all right, in the lore. We all know that, and sure, maybe new players that come in who are really big Lord of the Rings fans will know that. But I think it'll be harder for people to know what that is, just from the broader audience that like watch the movies, because the name Peregrine I think is dropped like once in the movies, and like Glamdring is like really focused on in the movies, right? The sword. Again, this is not an argument to pick one or the other. I'm just saying that's my thoughts on some of that stuff. Again, but the Voice of the Rings kinship, we will be on Glamdring. I don't want people to think I'm like gonna run 2 kinships on both NA servers, the North American servers. I'm not gonna do that. That's too much. It's too confusing. We're gonna be on Glamdring. Anyone else wants to come do coalitions with allies, kinships, come over with us. Awesome. We will make fun events and do fun things, just like we've been doing on Crit Hollow, and more so. All right, that's the goal. I will have an alt on Peregrine, most likely to go watch like band events. But that'll be like twice a year. So my point is, don't be like, oh, Zollin's going to have a kinship over there too. Please don't think that, all right? We're on Glamdring. Don't want that's going to get too confusing. So let's just stick to that. Now let's go ahead and answer a few more questions. Thank you, by the way, Cape Goat, for becoming a member on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also, thank you for liking the stream, guys. Or the video, if you're watching later, the video. Greetings, Lord Kev. All right, nice. Have a great stream. Thank you, Lord Kev. Thank you. It is a very rainy day here at my house. It's beautiful. I love the rain. That's why I'm all dressed up in a nice warm thing. So let's talk about a few more things here. If you guys have any questions who are here live right now, there's 25 of you. Please throw them out. So again, focused on the transfers, okay, and the stuff. What else can we cover? We covered... I'm trying to think of all the main things. A lot of questions that are asked. Monster play. Let's talk about monster play characters real fast. When the transfer happens with monster play characters, that will be later most likely with them. I don't know if they're going to have them be able to transfer on the day 1 or 2. So what you're going to probably have to do with monster play, I don't have this confirmed, so this is a little bit of speculation, but Cordovan made a little bit of speculation on this too as well, so I'm just going to say what he said. Basically, what will probably happen is you'll probably have to choose one of your creeps. If let's say you're going to have all 5 types of creeps, right? Creeps are the monster play characters. A warg, a spider, a war leader, a reaver, and a defiler, right? It's the 5, right? Am I missing one? Yeah, whatever. And basically, you're only going to be able to pick one from every server. So if you're someone who has played player versus multiplayer on 4 servers, you'll probably want to pick your highest rank and move it over, because that's relevant, and then choose your favorite name out of the 4, right? That's probably what you're going to have to do, but that'll be later. How is transfer moving going to happen? All right, the first day. So we don't know the exact date yet, but I will get it to you as soon as I have it. But it's going to be sometime the end of February. And basically, what's going to happen is on day 1, the servers will be all closed. You can only do transfers. And for the first day, they're going to let VIP go on the other new servers and make 3 names of regular characters. 3 names. This is regular characters, not monster play now. 3 names. So you can hold 3 different names, okay? This is their best way to try to make it fair. They couldn't just copy-paste millions of characters over, because you're merging it from many servers, and many people have not played in 10 years. So they wanted to bring people over who are only active players, which we have a huge active base, though. So still. So VIP will be able to save 3 names to the first day. Then... on the second, then I think the second day, then you're going to do transfers. This is where you'll be able to select all your characters to move over to the new server, including your shared storage, if you want to have that ready. There are some things you probably want to think about and plan about. That's what we're going to talk about in a second, including housing, storage, things like that. We'll talk about that right now. But basically, you're going to move all your characters, all right? You choose your characters. Now, when you get there, once they're moved later, all right, if you saved a name, obviously your character's name will be changed, your main one, and it'll do a -1 on it, okay? And once you basically get over there, you'll within a few seconds, right, get on the character you saved the name with, delete that character, and then immediately log into your other character. They'll give you a free rename, because that's going to happen if you had a copied name, and then you'll rename your character back, get rid of the -1. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's one thing to be important on. Also, when it comes to the thing of if someone takes your name, right? Like, and you know it's like reefing, right? And come on, guys, let's not do that, please, community. It's gonna happen by mistake, possibly, but like, don't go and be stealing people's names, you know, content creators, or, you know, any of your friends. You're like, hi, I stole your name. Don't do that. Just don't do that, guys. Come on. Lord of the Rings community is awesome. Let's keep it that way. But if there's a problem, you can talk to the customer service, and they are going to be directed to make sure, like, if you had a 150 character and someone had made level 1 and they never had that name above level 2 or something, they're obviously going to give you back your name, right? Things like that. So just keep that in mind. That's the only kind of little bit of stress that could be caused for all of us, right? Including, I totally understand that. But, you know, hang in there. I think as whole, the community would be good. I think just move over your characters that you already have names for, right? And things like that. Yes, the rain is good. It'll clear out the smoke, Bean. The only thing I'm worried about is for the people where the fires were, because then it causes mudslides. So just pray for them. Little side note. But yes, the rain will clear out the smoke and will put out any other fires, which is good too. Will I be able to transfer characters from Angmar to one of the new US servers? Jake asks. That's a good question. All right, let's jump over to... Angmar is one of the legendary servers. This is not the 10 I talked about, okay? And I have a video in detail showing you a graph of this if you need it. So there's the 10 original servers that are going to be merging to the 2 new regular servers. The answer with legendary servers will be no, because legendary servers are not going to be touched. They're going to function exactly how they always have. All right. So remember, Angmar and Mordor are already the 64-bit upgraded servers. They're already the good ones. Okay. I've played on them. It's a huge difference. All right. Basically, those will function the same way. They'll go through the progression over time. Okay. Angmar and Mordor, and when they get to the end, they will close, like legendary servers always do, and you have free transfers to whatever server. So in the future, Jake, like in the future, when Angmar gets to max level and that server's done, and they decide to close it, which is what I assume will happen, because that's normal, and they give you a couple months, everyone, to move their characters, then you'll be able to move your characters to one of the other servers. But no, the legendary servers will not be touched, including Treebeard. They are thinking about it because Treebeard has a very small population, I guess, from what they've seen. But overall, they're thinking it'll just progress the same way because they still have a community that really has fun and plays on Treebeard. So they don't want to like rip that away from people that have, you know, been playing on legendary servers, expecting them to slowly grow over time. So basically, the legendary servers will not be touched. So again, there's 10 original servers, which I'm not going to name them all right now, that'll be moving. The European ones will be moving to 2, and the American ones will be moving to 2. But there are 3 more on the side. There's an old Treebeard legendary server. There's Angmar and Mordor, which, by the way, Mordor was the first dedicated server in Europe. So that was actually already in Europe. And Angmar and Mordor, Angmar being the American one, Mordor being the European one, those have special events on them as well. They have like where the Nazgul attack you, and for something it's called, and that's a feature that's only on those. Okay, it's a special feature for that server, as well as being progression legendary servers. Those features will not be on the new servers that I'm talking about today. Okay, they will not be on Glamdring, Peregrine, Orcrust, or Meriadoc. They will not have Nazgul attacking out of the nowhere. Some people really don't like that feature. Some people love it. Right? So that's why they're keeping it on those servers, because it's special for those servers. And again, remember, those servers were dedicated to be a practice, basically, and also have a special event. Right? That's why they have the Nazgul events and things like that. So, hello, Elbin! Joneth! Hello. So, Jake, if you have any other questions, let me know, but I think that answers it. So, from my knowledge of what Cordovan has already said, Angmar and Mordor legendary servers will not be touched. They will also not have the free transfers to the new servers, because they're their own contained thing, with their own events, and they will continue on as they've been into the future until they get to the end. And then if they decide to close them, maybe people won't want them to close, I don't know. But if they decide, they'll probably give free transfers at that point, like they always do with legendary servers. But that will not be for this event coming up in the end of February. All right, good. Great question. Any other questions? We'll get through any questions anyone has about the stuff. And thank you guys, by the way, for liking the stream. If you're here and you didn't already, we have a question over on Twitch. Hi, question: any news on the transfers to the new 64-bit servers from the old ones closed servers? Let me read that again. Any news on transfers to the new 64 servers from the old closed servers? Ah, you're talking about the Dark Worlds. Okay, yes. So the word Dark Worlds. All right, this is over on Twitch. Smile Life asked this. So basically, they haven't given us a date on that yet. That will not be right when the transfers happen. So again, there's going to be a 3-day process at the beginning of this transfer process in the end of February. And we're going to have the first day, VIPs can grab 3 names. The second day, it's going to be open to transfers. Everybody can start transferring characters. No one can log in the second day. Everyone's going to be doing transfers and the system, and they're going to watch the transfer server and just make sure all the data is going good and everyone's transferring over nicely, right? Because it's going to 24-hour periods for all of them. The third day, people can log in, and then you can start setting up, buying your homes, that kind of stuff. It'll be like the official day that the servers are open, okay? So that's the idea. The Dark Worlds will come later. They'll probably come kind of like, I'm assuming the player versus monster player will also come later. Dark Worlds are ones that got closed 8 or 9 years ago, when we had the Great Merge, as I like to call it. That's my term. I coined that. I just didn't call it that. So when we had the Great Merge, that was back when there were way more than just the 10 regular servers. There was like, I don't know, was there over 20? I don't even remember. But a bunch, you had to basically pick these other servers, and they were merging to, and that was in that time. It was because of, it was not necessarily the best thing. It was because, it was 2 reasons. One was population was lower on a lot of servers, and 2, they wanted people to be able to play together. So that's a positive. So that was originally what they were doing back then, like 8 or 9 years ago. But now, this is a totally positive other reason. We have a massive community, and they're investing in the game to have brand new server banks because we have so many players now. So, very excited for this one. So, they will reopen some of those to get your data off. Cordovan has already explained that, so I'm going to just repeat what he said. Basically, the Dark Worlds will be opened for transfer only. You will not be able to log into them. That's very clear. He said that. You'll just be able to go in and do just the login on the front, where you log in, choose your server, and then you click on your character's transfer, and you transfer your, stuff, your shared storage, and your characters. Now, he did warn you that there could be items that don't come over right. You might lose 1 or 2 items, right? That kind of thing. But you should get your character, most your stuff, things like that, if you brought a character over from then. Because remember, it's going to have to probably be formatted to an extent with the system. So the Dark Worlds, you'll transfer your stuff over then. There are 2 servers that they made very clear will not reopen, and because they were closed indefinitely, I don't remember what the names are right now. But most of them will open. So, like, for example, Firefoot is where I was originally from. I could go on there and check I didn't leave anybody. I don't think I did, but I can go and check, right? And I'm going to ask a couple of my old friends that used to play with me 10 years ago and my one cousin and be like, hey, check your accounts. Get your characters moved over, right? Because it's like probably I don't know if they'll do this again, right, with opening the Dark Worlds. So I do want to get this message out to the Lord of the Rings community, especially if you haven't played in 10 years. Do all this when it comes to the end of February. Move your characters. Even if you don't plan on playing a lot in that moment, just do it to get your work and your characters moved over. Because, if you plan on playing in the next year, you might want to have that done, right? So make sure you do that. We got a few more. Hello. Here's another question on YouTube. Hello, is the server transfer free? I'm new to the game. So, yes. Normally, server transfers cost some money in LOTRO, but when this happens and opens, the 5 dedicated American servers that are going to be asked to move, okay? By the way, you don't necessarily have to move right when it happens. You could wait a month. They're not planning on closing the other servers immediately. It would be at the end of the year they're going to evaluate how many people on there, and then they're going to ask people to move off if they're really small, and then they might close the original servers that are the older type. But basically, it'll be free. When it opens up in February, all transferring of your shared storage, which is kind of like a character, all right, and your individual characters will all be shared. Just so you guys realize, pretty much all data is tied to characters except for the shared storage. That's kind of its own thing. And you'll see when you transfers, it has an option to move your shared storage as a unit. It will all be free. So normally it costs, I don't know, to move a character, it's probably like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks or something. I haven't looked in a long time. All of it will be free. And they'll let you move as many as you want. Obviously, there's a limit to how many characters you'll have on the new server. So if you have, let's say your account has a max of, you have 30 character slots. You can buy them, right? When you buy a character slot, it adds it to every server. So if you have 30 characters on 5 servers, 30 times 5, and you're now trying to move 30 times 5 characters to both of the new servers you're moving to both, you won't be able to fit them all. But Cordovan did say he's going to talk to them and see if they can give some more free slots just for that kind of scenario. But yeah, I don't know. With that particular one, that's going to be one we're going to have to look at the details when they put out the letter on if they're going to give more free slots. But realistically, people aren't going to have that many characters. The majority of us, I have like 28 characters, but again, on the other servers, I only have 1 or 2 here and there. So, So, and then Smile over on Twitch says, cool, thanks. I have a few characters I left stranded on E. Is that ever? I'm trying to remember E. Is it Evernight? Was that the one? Trying to remember what it is for. Yeah, absolutely. It's very exciting that you'll be able to get some of your characters off that. And I'm pretty sure Alemdemir, yes. And I don't think Alemdir was the one. I think that was not one of them. There were 2 that they're not going to be able to pull stuff off. And I'm trying to remember which ones right now. I should bring it up. I think I have it. Can we look it up in LOTRO Wiki with old servers? Let me look it up real quick. All right, let's see here. Let me look here. Current worlds. Here, I'm going to bring this up for you guys for a second. This is again what I was talking about a second ago. You have the current 5 worlds, 10 worlds right here, and then the legendary servers, right? So again, the 3 legendary will not be touched. I already explained that for you guys. And then these 10 will be merging. These 5 US servers will be merging into Glamdring and Peregrine. These 5 servers will be merging into Orcrust and Meriadoc. Okay? And these 3 will not be touched as we know right now. Okay? Legendary servers will continue as normal. I wonder if it has... if they have the old worlds information here. Historical information. Closed worlds. Okay, here's some of the dark worlds. All right. Yeah, here they all are. Okay, events. Okay, so here is the one that I know that they said will not. I think it's this one, Ithil. I'm 95% sure. Ithil is one they will not open as a dark world, and I think it was Anor. All right? Not Arnor, Anor. All right? Those 2, because they were legendary worlds back in the day, those I do not think will be open. All the other closed worlds here, I believe most of them, big quotations, I am not sure on this, guys. I am making educated guess from what I've heard from the... Okay? The ones that are closed, most of these will be open. So like Firefoot, Gilrain, Nimrodel, Meneldor, like these servers that are closed, most of them will be able to be accessed. Okay? So this one, Elmandir, you should be able to access this one as one of the closed worlds, to answer your question. I'm pretty sure it's Ithil and Anor that will not be able to be accessed, from what Cordovan said. Okay? Just a little bit of information there on the side. We got a couple other questions here. Bean says, sorry, in what U.S. state will Glamdring server be hosted? It's in Las Vegas. So I think it's Nevada, right? Right? It's the bottom of Nevada. So it's kind of like in between like Mountain Time and Pacific. I think they actually use Pacific. Do they use Mountain Time? It doesn't matter. They're right next to. It's gonna be really close to like the California border and the other one, because Nevada's like it has like a point at the bottom of the state, and Las Vegas is like near the bottom of the point. All right. You look at a U.S. map, you know what I'm talking about. So, and the European servers will be dedicated in Amsterdam. All right. Mr. Hammer says, yes, previously closed legendary game worlds will not become available. Shadowfax as well. Okay, good. Well, I was right. Thank you for the backup on that, Mr. Hammer. Yes, so Ithil, Anor, and Shadowfax will not. So, and again, remember, because they're legendary servers, they are special. That's why the legendary servers right now are not going to be touched. They will not be part of this transfer. They will go on as they've been going normally, all right? And then these 3 servers, when they get to the end of their normal lifespan, because legendary servers progress till the very end, and then usually at that point they get free transfers to move to whatever server you want. So that's what you kind of have to plan for legendary servers. Remember, Angmar and Mordor are already 64-bit servers. Mordor is already dedicated in Europe. So just keep that in mind, okay, guys, with these 2 servers. Treebeard is an older 32-bit, but it's still one legendary, and people are enjoying that, and that's going to move on. Again, I want to just stress another point, guys. They're not planning on just deleting all 10 of these worlds instantly. Okay, you don't need to, like, rush on the bank, right? If you're someone that plays a lot, sure, you're going to probably want to do it on the day 1 or 2, right, of transferring your stuff. Get new houses, get your names, move over your characters, right, things like that. But realistically, you don't need to feel like, oh, they're going to delete my characters, a week after. No, they made that very clear that it's not happening, so do not stress over that, okay? They're going to look at the end of the year, and if some of these servers, let's say Brandywine has tons of players still, hundreds and hundreds log in every day still. They said they're going to keep running them, and they're going to decide that at the end of the year. If a server, but they're asking if most people will move to the new servers, because it's the future of LOTRO, being the new special 64-bit servers. And it'll be fun. It'll be fun too. And again, I'm really excited. I think all the communities on all 4 of the new servers are going to be awesome. We're gonna have so many more people to play with, and again, hopefully the lag will be greatly eliminated. Cordovan was saying we can't promise there won't be 0 lag ever because it's the internet. There's bottlenecks and things, but it is. I can tell you personally from playing on Angmar, which was kind of like one of their test servers. It is a huge difference. And I didn't think I'd notice. I thought, they've already done so much to fix lag for me personally on my server of, Crick Hollow. I don't really feel lag that often anymore. I doubt I'll notice a difference on Angmar. Oh, I noticed. It's really exciting. I noticed. All right. As someone who's been playing since the game came out, I noticed. And I do remember during like the Rohan period, which was like, I don't know, 9 years ago. I don't know. Somewhere in the middle of the game's 17 years. Lag was horrible. It was awful. Like, in fact, it made even me not play as much for about a month or 2. They fixed some stuff and it got better on the old servers, but that has been really mended a lot over the last 8 years. Obviously on servers now you still get it, but it's not as much, at least for if you're closer. I'm really excited to see the 64-bit servers. I know some people are saying, well, if they're moved, it might make it a little farther, being closer to the West Coast than kind of closer to the East Coast. I think the mathematicalness of just the logistics of it being so much faster as a server itself will probably make up for the distance change when it comes to ping. Personally, I think that'll be the case. I think if people are seeing lag, it's probably most likely going to be a connection between them and the server. It probably won't necessarily be the server. At that point, it could be still if there's 10,000 people in one spot on it or something. I don't know. I doubt they get that many. It still will layer people with layers, but you'll probably see hundreds of people running around still. But yeah, so I'm very excited about it. Any other questions? Gamecast Collective. All right. Hopefully, we will not have a great player exodus. When the servers merges, I highly doubt it. Gamecast Collective, I actually anticipate the opposites. Just because of my channel, because of my community here on Voice of the Rings, I have been very, very... Remember, Gamecast Collective, I want to repeat this since so many of you guys are here now. Back then, they were merging things because less people were playing, and it was chaotic because there were so many options. So I lost some friends, right? Because people are going to all these different servers, all these different options. Now, the new servers are not doing that because less population. It's because we've had more, so they're investing in the game and bringing it into the future. And we're going to have only 2 options from 5 to go to, which means most people will be able to stay together anyway. And again, it's not as hard to have one alt to say hi to people on another server than having 7 servers to say hi. You know what I'm saying? And we're definitely having more people come in. I have had in my comments on Lord of the Rings Online here, in game, and also on my channel of Voice of the Rings, I have had a tremendous amount. We're talking, if I'm giving you a realistic number, I'd say 70 in the last 2 weeks, 70 comments or so, which is a pretty good basis to make the guess on. Have said, I'm so excited. I haven't played in a while. I'm moving my character to Glamdring with you guys or whatever from another server. Or, oh, I haven't played in 10 years. I'm really excited about the new servers. I'm getting on my character and I'm going to transfer too, blah, blah, blah. I'm seeing more of that. It doesn't mean there won't be a couple people who decide that they don't want to play, of course. But I'm talking, that'll be not even 1% of the population. I think it'll be the other way around. I think more people will join the game than we'll have more players in general. That's my gut feeling from all the statistical data of my own brain as I hear people telling me things. I've had almost no comments of people being like, oh no, blah blah blah. I'm not playing anymore. Almost no. There's been some people worried about things, right? Like, oh, I'm a little worried about this and that. But no one said anything on the other end. Mr. Hammer, let me catch up what you're saying here. Most players will experience a change in latency of 10 to 30 up and down depending. Yes, this is true. Zollin will get slightly lower latency. You're in New York, you will get slightly higher, but we're both barely noticeable. Yeah, exactly. And something that I'm going to add on to that for Mr. Hammer is that, guys, when it comes to Lord of the Rings Online, you don't need that good of latency. Okay? So you have to, we're all gamers here, but I'm a gamer. I play a lot of different games. I'm a League of Legends player. Okay? League of Legends player, you get a difference of 2 or 3 latency, and you have a disadvantage because you literally need to make millisecond decisions and clicks, right? In that kind of game. In Lord of the Rings Online, a difference of that will be unnoticeable. And on top of that, because the servers will be faster, that is going to already compensate. So a lot of times people probably thought, oh, I'm so far away, that's why I'm having lag with the old servers. A lot of times that wasn't the case. It's the old servers having troubles, and it's buffering trying to load something for you in a certain area, okay? So that latency was irrelevant, even though it's easy to think that sometimes that was the case. They're all part of the equation, right? When it comes to this stuff, it's all part of the equation. It's all important to think about. But the point is, I think that the speed of the new servers will help so tremendously. It may outweigh some of the pros will outweigh the cons of movement of the server. Does that make sense? I think I worded that correctly. Mr. Hammer also says EU players with characters in the NA servers clusters will also experience very little difference. True, because the movement from New Jersey to Las Vegas with internet speed, guys, with the speed of light internet, okay, because most things now have fiber optic cables, the speed of light can go around the planet and it's done, right? So it really comes down to connections. Under the ocean, if there's some bottleneck connection, or in a city, or, that kind of stuff. So as, the world is progressing technologically, right, or the whole planet is, as that's progressing, that's helping more and more. I mean, you guys remember, just 5 years ago, I had way less good internet. Way less good. That's not how you should say that. I had not nearly as good internet is the term I was looking for. Speeds. So that's something you have to keep in mind as well. NA players with characters in the EU clusters will have much higher latency, as those servers will be in Amsterdam. Correct. This is correct. That will probably be the worst case scenario for everybody playing. If you're someone that played on an EU dedicated server that was in the server bank was in North America, but now it's going to be moved, they will have the biggest latency increase. But even then, for a game like LOTRO, it'll still probably be playable with the new 64-bit speed of servers. So I could be totally wrong. It could be that your house, you might have a certain thing that's a little slower, or your neighborhood, or your town or city, and I could be totally wrong, and so take that all with a grain of salt, because I could be totally wrong. And it's a case-by-case basis, right? There's been people complaining about lag for a long time, where I have not had lag in LOTRO for 4 or 5 years. Though I still see the difference when I'm a 64-bit server. That's what makes me excited. Yeah, I know the game has been growing again, which is good. Yes, it has been growing. It's very exciting. However, EU players with characters in the EU cluster will have much lower latency to move. Yes. See, and that's the nice thing for our EU friends. All right. They are going to now have, finally, besides the Mordor Legendary server, some of the regular servers are going to be dedicated in Europe for our European players. That's very exciting. Now, the only thing that makes me a little bit sad about that, okay, one thing, and this is because over here in North America, I want to play with my European friends. So, like, I know it's going to encourage European people to do that, but remember, if you're a European player that's been on one of the NA servers, you're going to have to make that character move to the NA new ones anyway, and there will be no difference really for you. So we'll still play with you guys. But I just want you guys to know, with the speed of 64-bit servers, if you want to try it out with an alt and try to play on Glamdring with us, with an alt, just to come hang out with us and stuff, you're welcome to. But I'm very excited for my European friends that they have their own dedicated servers now, because they've really deserved that and needed that for a long time. So, and I know a lot of you, my viewers here on the channel, are European players in LOTRO as well. I am stuck with LOTRO back when I quit WoW. LOTRO in 2006, closed beta. Back in the day, yeah. I joined LOTRO right on the first week it was officially out. I was so young at the time, I didn't even know. You know why I even knew about it? I found the disc at the store. I just got into Lord of the Rings as a child, and I was like, Mom, look, it's a Lord of the Rings game, right? And my mom's like, oh, cool. And we both didn't know anything about MMOs at the time, right? This is a long time ago. We didn't know we had to like pay a subscription and like, because back then there wasn't a free to play when it first came out. And we got home and I remember installing it, and then it was like I couldn't get on, and I was like, what? I have to have an account? What is this, right? Because I was really little at the time, so I was learning all that stuff as a tiny child. And then my mom, being so cool, was like, okay, well let's figure it out, you know. So she helped me, and we figured it out. And then she realized, oh, you have to pay. Oh, interesting. So she's like, oh, it's because it's online. Okay. She's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be careful. We're gonna watch, right, being online as a child. And then the community was so wonderful. You know, my mom immediately was like, oh, this community is amazing, right? When I made some friends in it and stuff. So, yeah, started playing LOTRO as a small child. All right, let's keep going here. I was hooked. Yes, I was also hooked. I agree with you, Gamecast. As someone in South Africa, hello there, Hearth. Oh, I've seen you in the channel before. LOTRO was largely unplayable with US servers. The new servers are absolutely a game changer, literally. That's awesome. That's exciting. Yeah, that does make sense, because if you have that big of a latency and you have servers that are having a buffer and stuff, now you're getting to the point where it's going to be almost unplayable. So that's really a very exciting, Hearth. Very excited for you guys. Especially if you do go to a dedicated European one, that still, I mean, that's still pretty far, right? No matter what, that's pretty far distance. I'm thinking of but I mean, it's less, right? Because usually the signal will go across like the Atlantic and then down, probably is my assumption. Unless there are, I don't know how much connections there are going through South America, and like if any are going across from South America under the ocean to Africa. I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, that's cool. That's me I'm just geeking out, sorry. Sorry I'm late. Any news when this will happen? No, Bonnie, we do not, Plum Bottom, we do not have an exact date yet. I looked to see if Cordovan had already put out his thing. I assumed it would be Monday tomorrow, so I wasn't expecting it today. No pushing him. He's been working very hard. So we will, I will put out something on the Discord about it, so make sure you're in that, and make sure you're subscribed, because I'll probably make a video covering the whole sheet when he talks about it, and if there's dates, I'll make a video covering all of that information, for sure, after I study it. Finally, Warden is playable on EU. Yeah, it's true. The Warden has a lot of fast things, doesn't it? We got some questions over, oh, Patty over on, Twitch says mums are the best. Yes, mums. That's how they say it over in Britannia. The old fashioned. My friend, this is the Scumly Brian. Oh, what's up, Brian? How's it going? Oh, I noticed your symbol, Reformed Wolf. Very nice. All right, you changed your name. Good to know. Okay, I will do my best to get that in my head, Brian. That you are Brian now. I do recognize your symbol though, because you showed me from your company. That's cool. All right. Metro, I'm going to have to take the day off from work. Haha. Gotta save those names. Yeah, I mean, so day one, if you're a VIP, okay, so this is kind of a benefit to being a subscriber, right? Again, it's usually convenience, but you won't have to do this if you're not VIP. You can save 3 names. Day 2, you can transfer people. You're just going to basically get on, log in, go to the transfer server, transfer all your characters to which server you want them to be on. You could do both. You could do all to one. I will be transferring pretty much all of my characters because our kinship will be on Glamdring. And then move your shared storage will all move to one server. I highly recommend you move your shared storage to whatever your main server is going to be, because otherwise that would be hard for you. Another thing, housing. Okay, housing. Cordovan talked about it a little bit on his most recent video, which again I will link down there if you want to hear his whole thing on it. They are going to make it where housing gives 100% rights back from the I think it's the kinship ones. But again, a lot of the housing ones, you're going to want to leave it on the character and just move, and it'll automatically do that, like remove the house and give you the rights on the new server. Okay, so don't go crazy in deleting your house yet. I want to know the exact details from Cordovan when he brings out his letter for you guys. So I will make the video and talk about that in exact detail once I read exactly what the plans are for that and how it'll work. They said it's going to probably work like it always has, so if you already know how it works, great. But most people don't know how transferring already works, right? So we will talk about that more. One thing kinship leaders are going to have to think about, let's just talk about kinships real fast. Kinship leaders, me, and other kinship leaders are going to have to think about, you will need to sell your house. I don't know if they've updated it yet, but I think, or abandon or whatever, the kinship house, okay? Basically, when it comes to items, any items that are bound to a character that they had in the kinship house will be sent to their character, or back to their character. I think their escrow or their mail. I don't remember which one. And then anything that's not bound will be given to the leader and then put in his escrow when he moves his character. So you may want to, as a kinship, if you have some items in the kinship house, you as an individual player, they're not bound to you and you want them, you should ask your kinship leader, make sure you go and grab them out of the kinship house. But for our kinship, we will deal with that in an own private meeting later on. But just for you guys to kind of know about that a little bit more. But the kinship leader, when they move, they will take the kinship title with them. It'll be in their inventory. When they get there, they can right-click and remake the kinship at the right rank and stuff. If you all move after the kinship leader, I believe you will automatically be put back into the kinship. If you got there before him and you're not in a kinship, just wait. You're going to have to manually be re-invited by the kinship leader. Okay? So we'll talk about that all with my kinship later in a private meeting. But just so everyone else knows how it works to the extent. Scrub back a bit, he explained it here. Mostly EU servers work best from South America. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's a little less distance to go, Escape. Do you recommend the new legendary... Yeah, I think I talked about that. Do you recommend new players join a legendary server and transfer, or wait for the direct launch? Don't join a legendary server. That's one thing I didn't say, though. Don't join a legendary server. Because the legendary servers... Alright, let's bring it back up. Alright? These will not be touched, the legendary servers. Angmar and Mordor. They will continue on. They will not have free transfers to move to the new servers. Okay? But, if you want to play right now, you can join one of the 10 servers that will get free transfers to the new servers. But, right now, I'm on the server Crick Hollow with my kinship Voice of the Rings. Okay? We will be moving to 2 new servers. One server. Excuse me, let me reword that. We are not moving to 2 servers. We are moving to 1 server. But these 5 US servers will have the option to choose 2 servers. It'll be Glamdring or Peregrine. Okay? Those are the 2 servers. And these 5 European dedicated servers, which are technically in America, but they're for European players, they will have the option only to move to Orcrust and Meriadoc. Alright? If you would like, to answer your question, you could make a character right now on Crick Hollow if you plan to play with us, and then it'll be a free move to the new server at the end of this next month when they announce the date. It'll be free transfer, okay? You can do that right now. But if you join a legendary server, you will not have free transfers. And I don't even know if you can transfer from a legendary server right now to another server. Usually you play it out, and then at the end of the legendary servers, they let you transfer. But that's going to be far in the future. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. Okay? Hopefully that answers the question a little bit. So, And Mr. Hammer also said it. If you join a legendary server, you will not be able to transfer off of it. Correct. They are their own special thing. Question over on Twitch. Do you think there will be a right or mithril sale after the move? Anyone who might lose their house or currency. So, Paddle, that has been answered by Cordovan. You will get rights back. You will not get mithril back. Now, I'm not entirely sure how, I will talk about this once I have the details on it, but I'm not entirely sure how it works when it comes to your shared housing storage, or the storage you paid for. If it was paid for in-game money, for like your regular house, your kinship house, I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, you have to rebuy those slots for regular homes, the free homes. But the premium houses, it may remember for your character what you already purchased. If you used mithril coins. I'm not sure. If you use the regular in-game money, it might have to be repurchased. Not entirely sure on that. We'll see. But yeah, they're going to be doing as fair as they can with that kind of stuff. But he did say they cannot be giving back mithril for a purchase. So if you bought a house, you'll get rights, right? The little WRITS, right? Rights to use to rebuy a new home. Premium home. Sounds like a new player should just wait for the server launch. Well, if you wanted to. You don't have to. See, your question was, should I join a legendary server? I'm saying no on the legendary servers because they'll not have a transfer during this event. Regular servers, feel free to join right now and play. Make your character, play for the next 3 or 4 weeks. And then when we transfer, it's free, and you can transfer with us the kinship, and I'll be explaining that once we get to that point. So if you're a brand new player and you want to get back into the game and get prepped from the new server, make a character right now. Just make it on either these 5 servers if you want to go to Glamdring or to Peregrine, okay, the US ones, and make it on these 5 servers if you want to go to Orcrust or Meriadoc in Europe, okay? That's all a new player has to think about. All right, right now. We're talking about right now. In a month, I would recommend just making your tunes on whatever of the new 4 servers you'd like to use. Okay? So again, if you're a brand new player and you want to play right now, make your tune. Just make it on one of these 5 for the 2 American ones, Glamdring and Peregrine, and make it one of these 5s for Orcrust or Meriadoc. That'll be coming out in a month. Okay? That's all you have to worry about. Do not make your new character on a legendary server if you plan to join one of the new 64-bit servers. All right, that's all we're saying. If you want to play on a legendary server, it's a different thing than a regular server. Then go make a character on one of the legendary servers. You have to be a VIP subscriber. But, you know, I'm not going to tell people not to do that. Go for it. Those servers are not closing. Mr. Hammer has some more info too. He's repeating a little what I said. Yeah, what I said. Do not sell your personal house before transferring. If you transfer without abandoning the house, all purchased slots and prepared upkeep will be restored and purchased on anew. Wonderful. Thank you for that's the question at the end I wasn't sure about. So guys, like I said, do not sell your personal house, but you see there you actually will have your purchased slots restored. Okay, and that's also on the regular homes, Mr. Hammer. Is that both premium and regular? You said just homes, so I'm assuming both. The destination server, and you will get housing rights or gold equal to the original purchase cost when you first log into the new destination server. Okay, so you don't lose all of your slots. There'll be less, but you'll have the money in your wallet and the rights to buy them back. Okay, very cool. Yes, rights for premium, gold for regular houses. Okay, well there we go. Thank you, Mr. Hammer. Appreciate it. Kind of being solid on that. I mean, I know I threw that out. That was my guess, but I like to be solid on it. Is there any other questions anyone has? I am going to have to finish up here. But again, I will be making a video on all the information when Cordovan writes it all out and has it all with the dates and stuff. I'll be making a video on that. And I will most likely do another stream for you guys very soon. This next weekend or something. Or a weekday or something. We'll see. I'll do a couple different ones. But again, thank you everyone who is here right now. If you throw a like on the video later as if you're watching or a stream, that'd be great. And subscribe if you like Lord of the Rings content. We love LOTRO here. I do tons of LOTRO, but I also do other things on this channel. It's pretty. I'm a Tolkien channel, but also I would say I'm a LOTRO streamer too, because I love LOTRO. It's my canvas. I like to do a lot of things through it. And again, one last time, our kinship is right now on the server Crick Hollow. We will be transferring to Glamdring. All right, so no one is confused on that. So if you want to play with us, you can make a character on Crick Hollow right now. The free transfers will be going to Glamdring. All right. With that, my friends, have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth. You're welcome, Smile. Thank you guys for being here on Twitch and on YouTube. And you guys are the best. Again, you're welcome to leave some comments later if you're watching as a video, or if you were here and you remember something and leave a comment. I'll try to check them out and answer in the comments too. But again, you can join our Discord. Highly recommend it. If you want to know what's going on and you want a happy, fun Lord of the Rings community, join our Discord. You can also follow me on X and Facebook and a bunch of other stuff down there as well. And before I forget, thank you to my Patreons. I do this full time as a content creator, so thank you for the support. Thank you, Red, for being a Royal Guardian. And with that, my friends, have a good day in Middle-earth, and thank you for the one person who joined as a member on YouTube. Thanks for your videos. Have been so helpful for new players. No, awesome. No, I'm so happy. I'm so happy they help. I will make some more guide videos soon too. But I do have a very large library that are 95% all still relevant to the game. So, bye, Bean. See you guys. Thank you, Mr. Hammer. See you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Have a great day and stay happy, my friends. And I'm at your service and your families. Barukazad, Kuzad, I menu. See you soon. Very excited. Cool things coming for LOTRO, guys. It's going to be fun.